stop and go buy the correct plug-in adapter that matches up with your vehicle. This happens to be for a Toyota. It's made by the Access company. You buy it off of Amazon. Found it to be a good brand. Returns the OEM system amplifier for the radio, so you don't end up cutting any wires behind the dash. You just plug this unit into it. Okay. Once you have your SAT and your backup camera ready to go, you can plug it all together. This is the module for the Toyota. Should show that. It's a key lifesaver because you don't have to mess with any of the, it's just this kit right here. And it comes with RCA jacks for a video screen as well, but that's another video. So hook up the satellite from the receiver we just put on the roof. Ran it without it putting a hole in the firewall, which is good. And then hook up the camera, which we've run from the back. And then tuck it all back up inside of here, and then we'll test it. This is the last looks before assembly. We did a little bit of cosmetic work here. This is the steering wheel module from Metric. The Access steering features, volume control, search and mode toggle. This is the main module that hooks your stereo up and your speakers from the same company. Very good technical support. Just wrapped basically from the harness that comes with the Jensen. And a lot of people have Kenwood and Alpine and whatever, and they all hook up a little bit differently, but essentially when you're done, if you group them all, it looks a little bit better. A little less confusing. This is just the speaker wires, and that's a backup camera. And again, this is our microphone, which is positioned here, and everything is in place. This is the stock plug-in that came with the previous stereo that came with the Toyota, and it is not being utilized except 3 pins on here. And see the Access website for instructions on your vehicle, and really good on the 2005 Sequoia. So this is a complete, and this one you see dangling down here, that one was dangling back there and tucked against the wall, and it's for some other auxiliaries. It has nothing to do with anything we took off of a radio. Okay, and there is if you see this right here, that is a ground, and you can pull that out and hook any wires on there that you need to for a chassis ground. That was overlooked by me in the beginning, and found it to be very useful. And last but not least, this antenna is not being used. It's a little one. It's, if you want to look, I don't know if you can see it, it's actually something that's right there, and it's no longer used anymore. Okay. So that one just sets back out of your way. The other, obviously, one goes in here for the radio, and we're ready to put it back in place. When sticking all this back up in here, and you got your brackets on there, found that the little trim kit that comes with it from Metric Electronics is good on one side after you cut it and trim it, but this one doesn't have a hole for it to go in, you know, to lock it down. So just a little bit of electrician's tape along here. As soon as you put the wood trim back on it, it catches this edge, keeps it in there tight. You just need a little double sticky tape or something on there to put it in place. And one thing I found that's very useful is when you tuck all the wires back up there, leave the pigtail from the Access device that works with the steering wheel or functions, volume control, seek, and mode. When you get that functioning, leave that dangling down below behind the heater. Now, I found it easy to just tuck it right up in there like that. and it gets out of the way, you can insert this stuff back up in there. But as you're putting it back in and you're testing it, if you need to get access to it to reset that, which again, the reset is this little button right here. You got to hold it down for 4 to 6 seconds and then let go of it, and then it goes through and does its automatic. Okay, so this is the unit here, everything hooked up. You keep telling me, standard, baby, there will come a time. Standard JBL surround sound and everything that comes with stock with the Toyota. And beautiful little system. It's all touched. So this is your external if you want to hook up a backseat kind of video stuff. Here's your nav. And no real way around this safety thing here that you have to accept. And there it is. She's tracking. Does a great job, and it talks to you. You change the voices too, for those of you who are sensitive to that. And then of course there's Pandora and camera. Okay, so there's your disc player, back to radio, so you can scan and do whatever you want to, like a typical thing. Next video that I plan on doing is how to wire in these remote controls on the steering column, which Axis sells a plug-in for that as well, which I'm going to purchase. And I found out you can buy it on Amazon and price match it over at Best Buy if you want to pick it up. But getting it off Amazon is just as quick, so that'll go in next. But that's an overview. Got all that tucked back inside and tested everything, and at this point these aftermarket brackets, or actually the brackets that came originally off the vehicle, will match up to this stereo that I have, which is the Jensen 7020. But I found that the little knobs on the back, I had to grind them down so that it would seat right next to it where it should. Okay, so it lays flush. And then these brackets that come from Metric, it's just a little trim kit that you can get specifically for the Toyota, and they look kind of like that right there. You see how that bracket is? See where that line A is going down through there? I had to actually cut those off so that they would sit on these brackets just like it recommends. But they're supposed to sit in front of these brackets. Let's see if I got the right one here. Okay, they sit like that. And what they do is they cover the outside shell a little bit of the stereo itself. So I'm going to go ahead and mount these in there, and then we'll try and lift this back into place and see how. When it comes to putting this trim kit on, I'm just going to set it here in my lap so you can see it here. You have the factory bracket that goes on like this, mounts up over this plate, and one goes on one way. Okay, this goes on the side. We've grinded down those little adjuster ticks, whatever they call those things. And what we'll do is we've cut this already. Okay, and just grinded it smooth a little bit, and it essentially mounts to these screw holes. Line up right hold on a second. What have I got here? There we go. They line up right there. And the third one's right back there. Okay, and then this one mounts up here like that. Okay. So one little problem here I ran into is that the left side of the Jensen stereo is missing the screw hole for this bottom one right there above my thumb. That one. This one's good. That one's not there, and it happens to be where the piece is supposed to be received. I've got this other side already put together so you can see it. That's the faceplate right there sticking on the outside of it, and those two screws to the left there. And then the other two hold the bracket, and it's all nice and snug and worked perfect. But on this side, it is missing a screw hole. So I'm gonna have to adapt that a little bit. One problem, the only problem I found with the aftermarket kit from Metric lining up is it did everything it was supposed to do on the right hand side for the trim, but this left one does not have a bracket, so you got to use a little double stick tape or something right here just to hold it in place. Then the trim of this, I am hoping will actually seat that and hold it in place quite well. So other than that, so I'm going to find a little double stick tape and apply it right there to hold it in place long enough for the dust to slip this in. I just applied a little electrician's tape to it, and the only reason I'm doing that is to try and hold it in place long enough to seat this around it. So we'll give it a shot here. Make sure it goes in snug. Okay, I'm going to work that a little bit. Okay, there you have it. Final assembly. I will tell you the trim kit, 2 pieces for the wings, doesn't fit real perfect, but you know, and you have to fight it a little bit at the top. So ease it back in there if you got the nice limited edition wood grain or whatever. So over here we'll hit the volume controls are working. Hit the scan. Okay. So I'm going to turn that down so we don't get hit with any kind of goofy copyright infringements. So everything's functioning. Put it in reverse. At the backup camera. Seeing my garage out there. Garage door rather. Last 2 things I'll mention to you. Instructions in the trim kit, invaluable. This is the company. Definitely need to deal with metrics and get this Axis integrated interface that they have. Wouldn't do this job without it, actually. Keeps the stock components that come off your old stereo intact in case somebody wants to use them in the future. You do have to splice into 3 of them in order to do these controls. If you're not messing with these in a 4Runner or any other kind of Toyota, you're good to go. So it is pretty impressive that the touchscreen, everything's working, and the Bluetooth hooking up to this iPhone is pretty seamless. So hope this helps, and it's not a perfect rendition of how everything went, but I was hoping to show that there's a couple of things you can avoid. Mainly that backup reverse wire is key to locating it. I found it underneath the driver's seat. Did not have to take any carpet, didn't have to take seat out, and also up underneath the firewall. I didn't drill through the firewall. I brought it under the garnet, which is directly under the seat, so for the SAT antenna. So hope this helps. I don't answer too many questions, so it is what it is for helpful purposes. So best of luck to you if you're attempting to do it. It's not difficult, just a little time consuming, but definitely would invest in a couple of harnesses from this outfit and make it a little easier for you. Okay, best of luck.